I spent 50 years building things that don't matter. I'm 88 years old. And everything they told you about success, about climbing, about making it, is a carefully constructed lie. Society sold you a script. Work hard. Achieve more. Get recognized. Then you'll be happy. Then you'll be enough. But nobody tells you what happens when you reach the top and realize you're standing on nothing. I'm not here to impress you. I'm here because I'm running out of time, and you're not. I wish someone had grabbed me by the shoulders at 35 and told me what I'm about to tell you, but nobody did. So I kept climbing, kept achieving, kept applauding myself in empty rooms. I don't want that for you. I had everything the world said I should want. The business grew. My name meant something. People asked for my advice. Invitations stacked up. Awards lined the office wall. My calendar was full for months. I looked successful. I was successful by every measure that mattered to everyone else. But here's what nobody saw. I couldn't remember the last time I felt calm. Not happy, not excited. Just calm, just still. I'd wake up at 4 a.m. with my chest tight, mentally sorting problems that wouldn't matter in a year. I'd sit in meetings nodding while thinking about the next meeting. I'd eat lunch without tasting it, drive home without seeing the road, walk past my wife without really seeing her face. I was moving, always moving, but I wasn't living. I was going through the motions of a life I'd forgotten to design. If you want to hear more stories like this, hit subscribe. I'm sharing what I learned before it's too late for you to use it. The turning point came on a Tuesday, March 14th. I remember because it was my grandson's birthday and I'd missed it. Again, I was in the office, 7 p.m., reviewing contracts that could have waited. The building was empty. Just the hum of fluorescent lights and the cleaning crew vacuuming down the hall. My phone buzzed. A text from my daughter. Just 3 words. He asked for you. I stared at that text for maybe 2 minutes. The words didn't move, but something inside me did. I looked up, saw my reflection in the dark window. A man I didn't recognize, tired eyes, slouched shoulders, holding a pen over papers that would be forgotten in a month. And I thought, what am I doing? What am I actually doing with my life? I drove home that night with my hands shaking on the wheel, not from fear, from clarity, the kind that cuts. I'd been chasing something for decades, and I couldn't even name it anymore. Achievement? Validation? Proof that I mattered? All I knew was that I'd traded everything real for things that evaporated the moment I stopped performing. And that's when I realized the lie I'd been living. The lie is simple. It's 3 words. 3 words that destroy more lives than any disease. I have time. You tell yourself you have time. Time to call your parents back. Time to take that trip. Time to fix the relationship. Time to write the book. Time to rest. Time to actually be present with your kids instead of just in the same room. Time to figure out what you really want instead of what you're supposed to want. You don't say it out loud, but you live like it's true. Like time is guaranteed. Like there's always another chance. You think, I'll slow down after this promotion, after this project, after the kids are grown, after I retire, after I prove myself, after I have enough money, after I feel secure. The goalposts keep moving. You keep running, and you never stop to ask, running toward what? Do you believe you have time? I watched this happen to my closest friend David. We started our businesses the same year. Both ambitious, both convinced we were building something that mattered. He'd say, once I sell the company, I'm going to travel. See Europe. Finally take Susan on that trip. Every year, same plan. Always next year. Always after one more deal. He sold the company at 61. Big celebration. Champagne. Speeches about legacy. 3 weeks later, he collapsed in his kitchen. Stroke. He survived, but half his body didn't. I visited him in rehab. He looked at me with tears in his eyes and said, I thought I had time. Tom, I really thought I had time. That sentence followed me home. You want to know what I regret? Not the deals I didn't close, not the awards I didn't win, not the money I didn't make. I regret the ordinary moments I sacrificed for extraordinary ones that never came. I regret not getting on the plane to see my brother before he died. The ticket was $400. I had the money. I had the days off accumulated. But I told myself work couldn't wait. He could. Work is still here. He's not. I regret every time I brought my laptop to my daughter's soccer games. She'd look up after scoring, and I'd be staring at a screen. I told myself I was there. I was physically there. But being there and showing up are not the same thing. I regret the thousands of dinners where I was silent. Not because I had nothing to say, but because I was too tired from performing all day to be human at home. My wife would try to talk to me. I'd nod, make sounds. But I wasn't listening. I was already in tomorrow. I regret not stopping to watch the sunset from my porch. It's a small thing. But I had a porch for 40 years, and I maybe watched the sun go down a dozen times. I was always inside, always busy, always on my way to somewhere more important than where I was. I regret the books I bought but never read, the instruments I meant to learn, the hobbies I planned to start when I had time. I collected intentions, never followed through. Life became a list of things I'd do later. I regret not telling people I love them, not because I didn't feel it, but because saying it felt uncomfortable, vulnerable, weak. So I showed love through work, through providing, through fixing problems. But nobody remembers the problems I fixed. They remember the words I didn't say. I regret not protecting my health when I had it. I treated my body like a machine that would run forever. Late nights, fast food, no exercise. Stress I called normal. Then one day the machine breaks down and you realize you only get one. Not the titles, not the recognition, not the corner office or the business trips or the long hours or the important meetings. The moments, the small, quiet, forgettable moments I treated like obstacles between me and achievement. The rain hitting the window while my son tried to show me his drawing. I said later. There was no later. The light in the kitchen at 6 a.m. When my wife would make coffee and ask about my day. I gave one-word answers. She stopped asking. The walk from the car to the door, where I could have transitioned from work to home. But instead I brought work with me, every single time. You think you're building something, but you're just busy. And busy feels like progress until you're 88 and you look back and realize you were running in place. So what actually matters? The answer is embarrassingly simple. It's the kind of answer that sounds like a greeting card until you're standing at the end of your life and realizing it was true all along. People matter. Not contacts, not networks, not followers. People. The ones who know your real name and your real face. The ones who'd sit with you in silence, and it wouldn't be weird. You can count them on one hand if you're lucky. Protect them, call them, show up for them. Not when it's convenient. When it matters. Meaning matters. The feeling that your days connect to something beyond you. It doesn't have to be grand. You don't have to cure cancer or start a movement. Meaning is teaching your nephew to fish, volunteering at the library, helping a neighbor with groceries. Making something with your hands. It's the opposite of emptiness. That's all. Presence matters. Being where you are. Not in your head. Not in tomorrow. Not in regret. Here, now. Tasting your food. Hearing the person talking. Noticing the light. Feeling your breath. It sounds mystical. It's not. It's just being awake to your own life instead of sleepwalking through it. Experiences matter more than achievements. Not Instagram experiences, real ones, conversations that surprise you, trips with no agenda, trying something you're bad at, laughing until your stomach hurts, getting lost on purpose. The moments you can't monetize or optimize or put on a resume, those. So what changed for me? Small things, stupid small. But they added up. I started saying no, not to everything. Just to one thing per week that didn't align with what I actually valued. One meeting, one obligation, one should. It felt terrifying at first. Then it felt like breathing. I started calling my kids on weekdays, not for a reason, just to hear their voice, 10-minute calls. No agenda, just, hi, thinking about you. How's your week? Some of the best conversations of my life happened in those 10 minutes. I put my phone in another room during dinner. Sounds basic, changed everything. Suddenly I could hear my wife, really hear her. She'd say things I'd been missing for years. Funny things, sad things, real things. We started having a marriage again instead of an arrangement. I protected my mornings. No email before 9 a.m., just coffee, silence, maybe a book. The world didn't end. Work didn't collapse. But I showed up calmer, clearer, more human. I stopped trying to maximize everything. Efficiency is useful for tasks, terrible for life. I let myself waste time, sit on the porch, walk with no destination, talk to strangers, stare out windows. The best moments of my last 10 years happened in time I wasn't trying to optimize. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm not telling you to abandon responsibility. I'm telling you that success without peace is just another form of failure. And peace doesn't come from achieving more. It comes from wanting less, doing less, being more. You're not going to feel ready. You're not going to have permission. The world will keep demanding more, faster, better, louder. You have to draw the line yourself. Nobody's coming to save you from a life you're too busy to live. I'm 88. I don't have much time left, but you do. And time is the only thing you can't get back. Not money, not status, not success, just time. So I'm asking you directly, what are you going to do with yours? Tell me in the comments. What's one thing you're going to do differently? What are you going to stop sacrificing? I want to know. And if this story made you think, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe if you want more of these conversations. I'll keep sharing as long as I'm able. The clock is ticking, not to scare you, to wake you up. Because you don't have time to waste on a life that doesn't feel like yours. None of us do. So what are you going to do with your time?